Would love to learn a little bit about the company and why you started it.
So the company name is HAAT. HAAT is an Arabic word. In Arabic, it means to bring something. So what we are doing, we are a food delivery platform targeting secondary cities and infrastructure-less cities. So when we say infrastructure-less cities, we talk about cities without addresses or cities with high cash payments. Restaurant maybe have no point of sale or no digital menus, and sometimes no delivery solution. So if you're familiar with all the big food companies, food delivery companies, so we are doing similar things, but with different targets, with different challenges. How everything started from a personal need. So most of my life I lived in Haifa. It's a well-structured city, and I lived in Switzerland, in Zurich, like part of my career. And in one day I decided to move to my hometown for 1 year, where in a city called Al-Fahm is a less structured city. Like I live in a place where I have no address, no name of a street, no number for my home. Most of payments are in cash. Even I cannot pay with a credit card for some restaurants, and a lot of issues. And once I tried to do a food delivery, I couldn't do that because of all the obstacles that I explained in the last few minutes. And then I said, okay, someone should solve this issue for this kind of people. Everyone deserves to get food to his home. So I started with a mission to make a food delivery effortless for everyone, everywhere. So not just those who live in big cities and in London, in New York, and so on, but also the people who live in Al-Fahm, Indonesia, or any secondary cities around the world. So this is the way how we started to reach users without addresses. Is a very challenging part because you can use only the GPS, but unfortunately, GPS is not accurate. Like above 15% of the GPS signals that we get are not accurate. So this is one issue with the GPS. Second issue with the GPS is GPS give you a point in the map, and sometimes you don't know what is the road. So you can have a road on the right side, road on the left side, and it can take 10 or 15 minutes more if you have a bad, a routing to the home, which make the whole difference between a good food and bad food. So we developed a technology that's supporting addressless location. And what we are doing, mainly we learn the locations and the roads and the specific entry point for each user by previous orders from the driver path. So we're tracking the driver and we're tracking the behavior of the driver and the tags and the labeling that they can also supporting us manually. So we do automatically some things we like collecting automatically, and some part of them we are collecting them manually. And based on all of this data, we can learn your exact location, your entry point, and roads that not exist in Google Maps. Like we do 3 things. We correct the GPS location, and we learn the entry of your home. And third one, we learn new roads that are not exist in Google Maps. The market is huge. So what we did in the last 3 years, we showed how the market and the potential of this market, how big is the market. So currently we are serving around 20 cities, infrastructure-less cities, and we're showing the potential. And we believe in the coming 5 years, we have a lot of things to do in these cities. So no, we are not targeting these big cities in the short and the midterm. In Google maybe and in the university, I did a lot of growth in the personal side, but with this company, with building company, I do a growth not just for me, myself, also for the community itself. And I developed a lot of skills that I couldn't develop in different places. Like just to say about if you are in a big company is a great thing, but you cannot touch all like the 360 degrees. You see what I mean? So I'm kind of people that cannot be, in a place where I'm focusing only in one thing and doing it's amazing. But I want to do a lot of things touching, finance, touching marketing, touching operation, touching technology. So to build all of this, I feel like I have this potential and this energy. And I think it's like what I found in HAAT. And this is the reason that I left everything and just focusing on building my own company. At the beginning, I started HAAT as a side project. So I did it, while I'm in Google. So the first, as a tech guy, I developed, the whole technology, the first technology of HAAT, and hired 3-4 friends. So we started working on the app itself. And I said, okay, I knew that I will leave Google in some point, but didn't know when. So once I done, me and my friends with the app and with the technology, and we feel that we are ready to launch the product. So it was a little bit risky for me since I'm married with 3 kids. So it was like a challenge for me to leave everything. So I wanted to leave, but I couldn't do that. It was like very difficult. I will not survive. And in 3 months, when we launched the product, after 3 months, we proved the potential and understand that my gut feeling is true. Like this big infrastructure-less cities that usually have, low income, and people saying, maybe they will not use technology, and maybe they there will not be a big volume and so on. So after 3 months, once my gut feeling become, fact. So I said, okay, it's the time to leave. So I reduced my full time to 20, and within a year I just was 100% on the project. I have 3 targets. The first target is very low target. Below this target, I will close the company. So I want to be realistic. So I said this is my first target for the first year. Second target, third target. In the mid target, I would say I'm fine, but it's not, amazing. And in the third target, it would be amazing. So I'm in the right direction. So it's like I did a business plan for a year, and like I have a plan for a year, and I'm just focusing in running the business without seeing the result till like the end of the year. So within 3 months, I reached the top target, the third one, that I thought I would reach within a year. So it's like I understand that I even, underestimate the market size. So in that point I said, okay, it's like no place for doubt. Either I do it now or never. So I decided, okay, I will take the risk, and I think it's like looking back to that time was a correct decision. It's my 4th year in this business, and one of the things that I learned is the less attractive thing is money in the short term. It means if you bring people with money, probably they will leave you soon, or they will not give according to the expectations. So like the answer, I think you got my answer. So I didn't hire anyone with any, with any cent. Like all of them was like, they got an equity. They got equities and no salaries, and they like kind of partners. And I think they're still with me till this moment, like the first 3 guys that I hired, and they're still fighting in the same way. And I think it's like the best thing I did, that I didn't offer them any, they didn't feel themselves as employees. They feel they are founders. They are building this thing, and it's belonging to them. So it's like was as more as a partners than as salaries and employees. And one more thing I understand during these 4 years is when people have a high risk, they will give much more. Even about myself, when I know that it's HAAT or nothing, I have no other option. So I saw my performance once I left everything and focusing only on my company. Like the company totally looks different. Things become, it's a different mindset when you know, when you live in this kind of stress, like the right balance of stress, that you know that if you lose this company, you know, you need to start from scratch. Story of HAAT started at 2018. I worked at Google, and for some personal reasons, I decided to move to my hometown, where my parents, you can guess why, I had a kid. So I need some help from my parents for 1 year. I tried to do a food delivery, like to ordering a food delivery from restaurants, and I faced a lot of issues. So first one, they couldn't get a credit card. I need to pay only with cash. I didn't have cash. I have no menus, like all the restaurants have no digital infrastructures. And the most, you know, bad point was when somehow I succeeded to arrange everything and do the orders, the driver couldn't reach my home because there is no addresses in these places. So there is no street names, there is no home numbers and so on. So it was like a really bad experience. And with hundreds of restaurants, don't talk about like 5 restaurants in the city. Talk about 200 restaurants in 25 kilometers. Like it's like the density is crazy. And I said, okay, everyone deserves food delivery to their home, not just only those who live in big cities and well-structured cities. So I started with a mission to make food delivery effortless for everyone, everywhere. From that point, we started HAAT.